Hola a todos. Bienvenido a Sevilla. Welcome back to Seville on my 15th day. So more than halfway through my Seville adventure. I'm excited. Today was a fantastic day. Got to do some real touristy stuff, specifically the Alcázar. Alcázar. My accent is so terrible. But the Alcázar was or is actually still, the Spanish palace. The royal family still has a room upstairs that when they're in town, they stay at. And certain parts of the exhibits have to be closed down for that time. Interesting. But this old building was built during was originally built. Well, that's the thing. It kept getting built and built and built. But most famously, probably, was when the Moors built this originally. You can tell by the name, Alcázar. And then it was taken over by several different new Christian royal families until eventually Spain united and became Spain. And this is where they all hung out. And what's interesting, Spanish history in a nutshell is lots of people invaded, then they united, then they invaded a bunch of people, then they kind of invaded themselves, and they went back to being a constitutional monarchy, which is what they are now. But we're talking Phoenicians, we're talking Carthaginians, we're talking Romans, we're talking Vandals, we're talking Alans, we're talking Visigoths, we're talking the Moorish empires, the caliphates after that, then Christian kingdoms, the Reconquista, and then 1492, big date. Right, that's when Spain was finally reconquered. That's when they sent that little guy across the ocean to find another continent. And it's also when they expelled a whole bunch of people, particularly Jews, from their country so that they could, keep their country really Christian. And what was interesting through all of that process is that all of those influences, every one of them, influences this building. And the original architecture, the original Moorish Arabian architecture is just breathtaking. And then what came about was a Christianization of that. What I didn't know beforehand was just how much of that was affected by tile work, and how much these, those bold blue tiles that you see everywhere, how much of that went into the design of many of these buildings around. I showed you yesterday the undersides of balconies even, and it's everywhere. And we saw that when we looked at the Plaza de Español, because that's very new. It was, relatively from 1929, and they included all of those aesthetics. And inside there, the Alcázar, there are benches made out of tiles. There are walls, decorations, ceilings, like everything. Not to mention, the arches. Oh, I'm a big fan of those arches. But the detail inside them, it's not just an arch. It's an arch with all kinds of sculptured patterns. They're really big on those geometric shapes. But also just letters, and it's gorgeous. Like you walk in there and you're in awe. Like, we throw that word around, awesome, all the time, but I mean, this is when you really appreciate that word, when you walk in and go, oh, wow, and the pools that they have inside, and then of course the gardens. I didn't have time to go through everything, so I kind of concentrated on the building itself, but I'm thinking of coming back. and in particular wandering the gardens back there. It was really cool. I did make it to the underground pool, which was really cool. Literally cool. Apparently that's where they would go during the hot summers, and you could feel it down there. It's really, really cool. And there's a nice breeze, and it just, was really, really cool. And yeah, just everything's just designed so well and made to impress, which is exactly why these guys had palaces in the first place, right? Was to say, hey, this is what I own, right? This is what I'm the master of. And so you get those architects, you get those artists, those sculptures, and you build something this. But what's so fascinating is this is it behind me, which, I mean, it's nice looking, but relatively plain compared to the inside. And it never ceases to amaze me how that works. Sometimes the plainest buildings have the most gorgeous interiors, and vice versa, So tomorrow I'm going to go over to the cathedral, and I'm going to walk up that big tower. Now the cathedral, which is right behind me, is fancy looking. It is gorgeous looking, but it is also pretty gorgeous on the inside, from what I've seen. So I'm going to find out for myself. But what an amazing day. I hope the pictures and videos worked out so that I could share them with you, and I hope you enjoy them. But believe me, if you see the photos and think, oh, okay, I've seen it now, no, you got to be there. You got to be in the Alcázar. So that said, I'm off to bed, and because I got to go see the cathedral tomorrow. Got to rest up. I hope everyone is doing well out there. I hope you're planning your own adventures, or at the very least, I hope it's getting a little warmer. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love it if you could subscribe or like, give me a comment. It really helps, and I appreciate it. I really do. And so I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Good night, everyone.
Baby, upon your face.